Ding, 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 ding. They all go ding, ding. Hey there, viewers, and welcome back. I'm losing it, folks. I've run out of steam. I've been slacking on YouTube. The shop has been chaos. And here we are. And I haven't been doing any videos. It's been like 2 weeks since I haven't picked up my camera. However, I know you need me, and I need you. And here we are. In the 2009 Chevrolet. It's a Trailblazer. And the lady brought it in with a whole list of complaints of problems I don't have, but I did notice one problem. You turn the key on. I don't know if you folks can see it or tell, but well, the dash isn't quite right there. You see the check engine light kind of flickering. And power windows work now. You go to start it, it doesn't start. And some lights are dim. Security light's bright. Battery light is bright. Airbag light is on, but kind of dim. Taint accessory power works. No start. Unless you judo chop. Judo chop! And then it starts. You just gotta, and the money light's on. Can't see it, but it's, of course you can't see it. I'm not a videographer. Now you can. Let's shut her back off. Ooh, the air pump works. 104,000 on this pig. Try to start it again. Nothing, 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 nothing. Judo chop! I don't see the problem, lady. You just judo chop your car. And unfortunately, that was not one of her complaints, so it's kind of frustrating because I call and say, hey lady, is one of your complaints that your car doesn't start? Oh no, honey, that thing's always started. What'd you do to it? You must have broke it. That's my complaint's that check engine light. Unless she judo chops it. Anyhow, she did have a complaint saying one day she went out to roll up her window, she turned the key on, and the windows wouldn't roll up. She had to start it. And anyways, the longer she talked, the more we got into the fact that the car doesn't start. So, besides all of her other complaints that seem to be power-related issues, we're going to look at this one because obviously there's something going on with the ignition switch because you shouldn't have to judo chop to get the car running. So, before we even look at the check engine light, let's figure out why in the thunder this thing won't crank. So we're waiting for a scan tool to power up here and our little red light to turn to a green light. I have the key on, however, I'm curious to know if we're even going to be able to communicate with it. Let's see here. Yeah, this baby's powered up. She's looking for the Bluetooth. And if we can't communicate with it, I might have to open up my door and fire it up and do it with it running. Maybe. We'll see. Go to select vehicle, auto ID. We'll see if it'll auto ID. That'll be the big clue. If it doesn't, we're not going to get too sidetracked on the whole no communication business. See what it says. Hey, it did find it. So it must be whatever. Please cycle the ignition. How's that? We can read codes out of it just for poop and laughter. We'll just read them out of the engine. Just so we have a little bit of a baseline, I guess, to go on. Like I say, when you got a switch messing up like this, I wouldn't be surprised we got all kinds of codes. And it looks like we have all kinds of codes. We have history codes, mill code. So our only check engine light code is heater, bank 1 sensor 1, O2 sensor heater. Alright, so, and then history code, system voltage low, ignition 1, switch circuit 2, fail sense clear, secondary air pressure sensor circuit. So I tell you what, we're just for grins and giggles, we're just going to save that. So that's saved. Now we can go, GM has, I think, what they call power moding, and I can't remember what module that's in. I'm thinking the body module. I don't know for sure, but we're going to look there and see if we can see all the different wiggly bits of, I don't know why it's dinging at me. Inputs, ignition. We just, yeah, we'll go customize here. We'll see if we can see all the different ignition inputs. So let's see, ignition 1, 0, 3, accessory, Key in, we'll just get all of it here. We'll see if this tells us anything. Oh, of course now it starts. That's why it dinged at us. Because I left the key on for a while. Okay. What's it do when we judo chop? Ignition 3 come online? Oh, judo chop! Judo chop! I can't judo chop with my left hand. Judo chop right hand. Nothing. Great, now it's dead. Nope. Alright, so what we need to look for is not this, not our ignition accessories, but perhaps just our start signal. So where's that going to be? I don't know, maybe in here. Let's see. It might be in the ECM. It's 8 o'clock at night. I'm ready to go home. Nope, that's just all that. So let's go back to the ECM. Or we can look in data. I guess we're right here. Just to see if it's here. For some reason I thought the power moding was in here, but I am incorrect. As usual. Good enough. Starter relay command off. On. That time it worked. What's curious, I don't know if you guys can see it on your screen. Key on, it's going to start this time, watch. Yep. I see ignition signal 1 was only at 5 volts when it wasn't working. See, right there, it's 4.5 volts and it's not going to work this time. Nope. Shut it off, back on. Nope, 4.5 volts again. 4.5 volts again. There we go, it's going to work this time. It's at 12 volts. Bingo! So there's our problem. Our ignition 1 signal has got something wonky in it. Honestly, these switches are wicked cheap, so let's go for it, baby. We popped our column covers off, which did not require any tools. They were already kind of half hanging off, oddly enough. Let me turn this down to a more romantic setting. Dun, dun, dun. Do, do. Oh, and I've got a I got a switch here from Napper, not a sponsor, because when I went out in the parking lot, can you see it? When I first turned the key on, I was like, oh, I got a bad ignition switch. So I just ordered one on a big fat guess. I'm a big fat guesser. Let's see. We got to push them in. Reach in there and push that one in. Push that one in. What happened? Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Where are you? That was sticking back there. Not time for no monkey business. So there it is. It's out. She's a little gear mechanism on there. And then what I want to look at, I want to open up our new one. Make sure that is timed in the correct position. It's not, so we'll give her a little flick back. No. Yes. Same position as that one. Correct. Correcto mundo. Now we're going to take and unplug the plugger. Ow, you mother lover. Didn't get me. I just natural reaction. Why did I not check any of the powers? Because we can see it on the scan tool. They all went to 12 volts when it works. That's why. Good question though. Just like so, it works now without karate chopping. Oh, guess what? Guess what I see? I see why the galdang covers were just hanging on here. Somebody broke the galdang screw. You see this? That sucker snapped clean off. That's why they're all hanging. There was no screws in the bottom of it, no screws in the top of it. Things all chowdered up from somebody had their meat nuggets in there at some point. That's it, folks. There's your 5-minute video on how to fix your Chevrolet Trailblazer. Now, the question is, or the question remains, so that's your start circuit. When you chug it over. The question remains is the engine light on as results of any of this monkey business? That's to be determined. Let's find out. Hey, all the dash lights are nice and bright now. Free tip for you. See how it says all no data, and if you hit OK on that last screen, it would take you back to the beginning. Just go to filter data and then just hit continue, and it will refresh. So now we can see that our ignition 1 signal is at 12 volts, close to it. And every time we key back on, of course, the dash lights up nicely now. So every time. No more judo chop. Oh yeah. She works 50% of the time. Every time. Ding, ding, ding. Which code did we have for an O2 sensor? I think we can look at the O2 sensor heater current in data here. So let's just check for poop and laughter. We'll pull them all up. Let's make sure all the heaters are turning on and they're drawing current. So those are the only heater PID commands I found. It says heat oxygen sensor 1 heater command, heat oxygen sensor 2 heater command. So does this only have, oh wait a minute, yeah, this only has 6-banger. I think it's an inline engine. I don't know if it's got 2 banks or not. That's a good question, but let's fire it up. Oh! Alright, both of them are drawing 2 amps. So that's good. However, we're 67% and drawing 1.3 amps on heater 1. Oh, now it's up to 97%. That was really bizarre. Did you see in the beginning that was like 7 amps or 7%, but drawing 2 amps? That was really odd. That would be something that indicates really low resistance. Yeah, it's at 7% and 1.5 amps. Interesting, interesting. Let's see if it corrects again. Just 97%. I'll be jiggered. Yeah, because the duty cycle to it should change over time as it heats up. Definitely something funky, I think, going on in heater 2. Let's go in and see what our code was for. We didn't clear any codes, so let's just check to see if that, you know, it's plot. Maybe it was number 1. I don't know. Let's see. And this may be a multi-banked inline engine. That I don't know either. Oh, bank 1, sensor 1, it's saying. Interesting. And then bank 1, sensor 2 was a fail sense clear. That's all very interesting. Because sensor 1 appears to be working. I don't know if any of this could be results of, what do I want to say, the ignition switch failing and voltages being wrong. I don't know. Let me do some poking here and see what we see. So I'm just reading through service data on it. It's exactly as we would expect. You know, just explains how they work, and they're pulse width modulated. You know, as we could see, a certain percentage of on time was sent to the O2 heater, and then it tries to keep it at a goal amperage between 0.5 amp and 2 amps, depending on, you know, what it's determining. You know, it needs the O2 sensor to be heated up. The amount of on time is going to be different upstream versus downstream oxygen sensor as they heat up and the resistance value changes. Just digging through here, looking at our scan data, everything looks as it should. So we're happy with that. And of course it tells you, you know, if you're not seeing the amperage draw on your scan tool to, you know, install a test light, and then, you know, now you're starting to check for power and control. What I thought, let's see, output should detect a short to voltage, driver rated on, 0 amps, okay. It doesn't really, you know, just your basic O2 heater circuit. However, one thing I did notice, because it is on the old I didn't fix here, and it gives you silver bullet fixes. You want to know how to fix your car? Type in the code, change the parts in order in which they list. it just so happens the first repair on this one was a customer complaint, wouldn't start, something, yada, yada, throws this code, PO 054 and 53, which we have. Number one fix, the ignition switch. So I'm going to leave it at that. I know, it's kind of unlike me. We're not going to test the O2 heater resistance and the circuits and all that stuff because we could see them working on the scan tool and we had a bad ignition switch. And Identifix says that's what the problem is. So we'll leave it at that. Tomorrow the car is staying overnight. So, well, let me move you. I know it's dark. Welcome to the dark side. I don't have my hat on either. I left it in there after Mrs. O made dinner. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run the car through a drive cycle tomorrow because she had other weird complaints of things that were happening. And all of it sounded like, lack of power stuff. We know the ignition switch is bad. So I'm going to drive it, get a full drive cycle, make sure we don't have that air pump code come back. We don't have heater codes come back. And then I can give it to her confidently and say, yep, everything works. Your windows are working now. The heater's not randomly shutting off. It starts all the time. So, which I think all the problems stem back to the ignition switch. So before you get all upside down and chasing all these erroneous codes, fix the problem at hand, run it through a drive cycle. If it passes, sayonara, baby. I'm not too excited about getting the EVAP monitor to run, the catalyst monitor to run, because all of those have already run. So if I can drive it and, passes the O2 test, the O2 heater test, fuel system monitor, this stuff works and we're going to flush this toilet. So anyhow, why don't you guys flush on down there to the comment section. Leave your question, comment, criticism, concern. Find us on our socials like Facebook and Instagram. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.